Alright guys, we're here messing with the Redcat Thunder Drift, trying to see what can we do to make it drift that little bit better, right? So we've already had comparisons between it and like a rear-wheel drive car to see how they're completely different. This car does good. What can we do to it to make it just a little bit different? We're going to look at the suspension alignment, maybe a little bit of diff tuning, some stuff like that, see what happens. One of the first things I did on this bad boy was check the whole front end alignment. When I got it, it was actually at a slightly toe in, where the front of the tires were actually pointed in instead of toe out. That I think was causing a little bit of a handling issue. So fortunately it does come with adjustable turnbuckles. So what I've had to do in order to set this up is these are almost collapsed all the way in on themselves now. It's almost as narrow as they would go, and it got me just a slight amount of toe out. Of course, this is on a GoPro camera, so it's going to look different than it does in reality anyway because of the fisheye lens, but got a just slight amount of toe out. Also, messing with these upper links here, I was able to get a slight amount of camber in. The one tire was actually at 0, the other tire was actually at negative. It was actually out. So I brought the camber in on both of them, and in order to do that, both of those pieces so far have made a good improvement in the handling. And what we had, so same thing back here in the rear, is at least it's adjustable camber. And again, same kind of thing. Out of the box, one of them was straight up and down, one of them was in slightly. So what I've done now is I've matched them. They are both at about 4 degrees in. I actually did that on purpose. I canted them in a little bit more to try to give a little bit less rear traction to see if I couldn't get it to want to rotate. One of the things with this car is even with a bunch of throttle, it doesn't want to just rotate freely on its own. It's not going to just a glide drift, if you will. You really have to force it to go. So that's one of the definitely differences versus a rear-wheel drive drift car. So one of the things I want to do next is I want to actually tear into this back, and I want to see if I can't thicken up the diff fluid that's in here. Diff fluid that's in the vehicle currently is actually very thin. Which, for a rear-wheel drive drift car, is actually okay, as it turns out. A rear-wheel drive drift car with a ball diff in it. But I'm going to guess that this is not a ball diff. I'm going to guess that this is a gear diff. And with the all-wheel drive vehicle, I believe I want this to be a lot stiffer. So we're going to open this thing up and see what we've got in there.